What's going on, guys? It's Gendo here, and welcome to episode 58 of the world's first. If you're still enjoying the series, please go and smash that like button. Now, today, of course, is the introduction of Sheffield FC into the Football League. That's right, it's our first match in League 2, and we're actually going to be facing off against Barnet away from home. But, of course, before we get to that, we had a whole off-season to try and strengthen the squad, because that's really the goal of Sheffield FC, is to try and stay afloat in League 2. And unfortunately, we couldn't take a couple players with us due to either poor form from last season or just couldn't re-sign them. 2 out of the 3 players left basically because they were surplus to requirements and didn't really feature all that much in the squad to begin with. The first one being Luke Chambers. As soon as I brought in Cameron McCullough, Luke Chambers' time at the club was near the end. He was relegated to backup duties, only featured 4 or 5 times in the league, and since that time was picked up by Boston United on a free. The second player we got rid of on a free transfer was Carl Piergianni. The center back pretty much was my 4th choice center back, as while he still had played in a good number of matches, he played in 26 matches last season, be it start or off the bench, he only had a 6.8 average rating, and that was the 4th best center backing average rating. He did get a couple goals, but I'm not really factoring goals into his overall performance. He did have a lot of defensive blunders in the last season, and that's really what forced my hand. And the third player that left the club was Steve Peters. All the way up until the end of his contract, he said that our ambitions didn't meet his. I don't know what he meant by that, because we got up into the Football League. Apparently that's not good enough for him, because he wants to be picked up by a team that is higher up. And as you can see, he is available on a free, but nobody is coming and calling. So if I want to try and offer him a contract, this is what he wants. He wants $110,000 per year, and I just do not have the funds to give him that type of money. So that's the very unfortunate part here. Steve Peters, instrumental last season by getting 30 goals in the league for us, but you know, he wanted a bigger payday, and we just couldn't give it to him. So it's sad to see him leave. And now let's go over the players that we have brought in to help raise the level of this club that would hopefully keep us in League 2 for next season. And the first one is Noe Baba. We brought him in from Altrincham for a fee of £2,000. The center back, who can also play out on the right, looks fairly decent for a 27-year-old. He is Irish. We're bringing him in for just under $19,000 for a year. And as you can see, he's got some decent stats about him in the defensive areas. 12 marking, 12 tackling, 11 positioning. He's got some decent pace on him. Overall, he really was brought in as more of a backup to Declan Jones or Ben Hutton, but I could also use him in the center of the park, and that's really where I needed a lot of help last season. Coming in from our parent club in MK Dons is Danny Allen. The 21-year-old left back is more than likely going to replace Scott Duxbury, as Duxbury is declining at 29 years old. So I need to bring someone in that can just basically cover for Scott Hoes, and Danny Allen was that player. He's 3-star current ability, and he has some decent attributes for this league. 10 marking, 11 tackling. He's got some great teamwork. He's got good legs on him. To be quite honest with you, pretty much similar to the other center backs that I had just shown, but overall will be a good backup. Next up isn't a defender, but he is a goalkeeper. Jack Bonham coming in from Oxford City for a fee of £9,000. And really, the reason why I signed him on is, well, 1, Luke Chambers was gone, but 2, I wanted to give McCullough a swift kick up the ass over fighting for a first-team spot, and obviously not just resting on his laurels and playing very mediocre, because now that I have a backup in just about equal ability in Jack Bonham, I expect to rotate them both out. And now meet our most expensive transfer this summer, Sam Kelly, a 29-year-old left mid who we brought from Tamworth for a fee of £12,000. And really, I needed more help on that left wing side. Jack Steele and Joe Grayson did all they could in the National League last season. They did competently well, but now that we're moving up into League 2, there's going to be better players, and really, I needed a better player myself that can help out on that left wing. So Sam Kelly is going to take over in that starting left mid role over Jack Steele. While Joe Grayson can move into the center of the park, Jack Steele cannot. So this is pretty much going to force Jack Steele into doing better to try and force himself back into the team. But if not, Jack Steele is going to see himself out. But Sam Kelly, as you can take a look, a very overall well-rounded midfielder, decent pace, decent mentality, and decent technical skills on him. I hope that he becomes a nice little winger in the near future. Keeping up with the wing play, we got ourselves another loan in from our parent club in MK Dons, 20-year-old Tommy Tatham, who can play out on the right side. Dave Jones did just about as good as Jack Steele and Joe Grayson for the National League level, but I need somebody who can help push us into League Two and keep us up in League Two for the next season. Tommy Tatham is honestly that type of person. While he's got the same amount of speed as Dave Jones, he's a little better technically, He's got better dribbling, better crossing, better technique, a little better mentally as well. But overall, I just want to see how he can force Dave Jones into playing better and training harder to, obviously develop his skills. So Tommy Tatham and more than likely Sam Kelly are going to be my starting wingers in the 4-4-2 formation. And finally, due to the absence of Steve Peters, I needed to pick up a fourth striker just in case I went back to the 4-3-3 formation and needed to have a backup. And cue David Herbert, who we loaned in from Nottingham Forest. The 18-year-old striker looks very competent for this level of play. Take a look at some of his stats. He's got a 16 in finishing, 14 off the ball, great teamwork and work rate, and his physicals are not bad either, with an 11 pace and 10 acceleration. I feel like this guy can create fits along the back lines of these League 2 defenses, but only time will tell to see if he can develop into a top quality striker for this league. But even with all the money we've won over last season and the signings brought in, we are still seeing ourselves in debt. And as you can see at the top of the graph, 5 years at the very least in the red, and that's not good for us. Our board has been pumping in money whenever they can, but I feel that we need to get ourselves some stability within the football league to make any sort of financial gains and help push us out of the red. Hopefully we don't see ourselves get relegated back down and myself get sacked. So this is what my starting 11 is going to look like for the majority of the season, barring injuries, of course. Jack Bonham is going to be my new starting goalkeeper, but I'm going to rotate him out with McCullough if the goalkeepers do not have a clean sheet in the previous match. That's just my rule. It's a nice, good squad rotation. Now, the back four, I'm not starting Noe Baba, even though that's what I brought him in for. Daquan Jones is going to be the starting right back, and once the season progresses, Noe Baba is going to see himself integrated more and more. But Stott Arthur and Danny Allen will be the rest of the back line there. The midfield will consist of Sam Kelly and Tommy Tatham out on the wings, because of course they're the better options. And then in the middle, Jake Gallagher and Joe Grayson. Obviously, there will be some rotation in there. Andre Jones, Joe Grayson, who can move out to the left, Jack Steele, who's already a left winger, depends on injuries and whatnot. And then my starting strikers for now, Anthony Steer and Rob Foster. Liam Davies, third choice, and David Hebert. I am giving him some workout in the under-21s, but I want to try and integrate him into the squad as well, but that'll come at a later date. So this is what we're going to go with versus Barnet, so let's kick off and see what happens. 5 minutes on, we got ourselves a corner kick. The ball goes over the top. Tommy Tatham almost getting his debut goal. Back to Barnet on the offensive, but we are defensively sound as they try to stack their 4-3-3 against us. What are they going to do with these three attackers? We really need to close them down if we want to get anything out of it, but we also need to mark their wingers. It's a nice ball in, but a good block away. 22 minutes on now, Daquan Jones, gets it in, but a shot taken, saved by Rose, the goalkeeper. Corner kick for Barnet now, getting inside to Imber over the bar. There have been so many chances wasted for both sides. There have been so many wasted opportunities between both sides. It may be 0-0 at the end of the match. Foster now slipping it through to Steer, but doesn't have a lot of help. Takes a weak shot. Rose there with the save again. Not a lot of possession being made and being held on to by either team. Just balls being dumped around the middle of the park. Oh, what a great ball up to Rob Foster. Tries to turn around. Anthony Steer's there, but he can't hold on to the ball. He can't get to it. 1 minute of stoppage time on the clock. Barnet with the ball and looking dangerous. Gets it inside. Oh, what a shot, but a rebound falls to Smith, and Barnet, at the stroke of halftime, get themselves the lead. Like I said, it was one wasted chance after another. It was only a matter of time before someone broke through. And unfortunately, it wasn't us that did it. It was Barnet off of a cross and a good first-time save from Bonham, but the ball bounced right back to Smith, and Barnet see themselves in the lead. But you can't put it all on the defense. The offense isn't really creating many more chances than Barnet or taking advantage of what they have. So that's why we don't have a goal. We need to do a little better if we want to get the goal, of course. So let's go back out there. Let's actually turn it into a controlling formation, slow the play down, and be a little bit more deliberate in our actions, work the ball into the box, and hopefully get a goal out of it. So second 45, let's see if we can get ourselves a result. It's a corner kick for Barnet just about 10 minutes into this half. Gets it through, bounces off the crossbar, good clearance away, getting a little nervy there. Barnet coming inside, Imber with a shot, but another good save from Bonham. The defense not on the best of days today, but it is only the first match of the league. Just give them a little bit of slack, really. Ball out on the wings, Johnson slipping through to Smith. Barnet looking dangerous here once again, and they slip it through, and they get their second. Just on the stroke of the hour, it's Barnet 2, Sheffield 0. Well, welcome to League 2, boys. It's going to be like this for quite a bit. And as you can see, the passing very well executed, slipping it through defensively. We need to do a lot better. We had Smith on lockdown, but two guys being way off of him. On the other end now, we could get something here. Grayson can't just find one pass. Slips through to Rob Foster. Rob Foster gets one back. It's his first goal in League 2, and Sheffield FC's first goal in League 2 as well. It's 2-1 now. 63 minutes on the clock. Plenty of time to get something going here. Once again, as I said, there was good passing on the other end for Barnet. This was some good passing to slip it through to Rob as he megs the keeper and gets us right back into this match. 7 minutes to go, ball coming through, and that pretty much ends that comeback. George Cole putting Barnet up by the score of 3-1 with 7 minutes to go as I tried to go more attacking to see if we can't, at least put more pressure on the Barnet back line and could possibly have gotten an equalizer, but what a great header in from Cole. So not the best of luck on the day, and I see more results like this in the future. It's 3-1, Barnet coming away the victors here on the very first match of the season. Don't worry, unlucky boys, it wasn't our day. There are still several more matches that we could play and get ourselves a decent result. And I believe it's the bottom 4. I think it's the bottom 4. No, wait, I'm wrong. It's the bottom 2 that get themselves relegated. So as long as we stay outside of the bottom 2, we are going to be in League 2 for one more season. So that's really the goal, is to try and finish 22nd or above. And let's take a look at when we'll be coming back in the next episode. So this is what the schedule looks like upcoming, and already I can see a couple of matches that we're not going to win. Both of them being in the Cups. We got Bradford City coming up next in the Capital One Cup first round. I don't see us coming away with a win there. Same thing with Notts County in the John Stones Paint Trophy. They're staying in League 1. I really don't think we're going to come away with a win there either. But taking a look at the matches in the league, we got Hargate, Blackpool, Dagon Red, Coventry, Forest Green, and we'll probably come back versus Bolton and Scunthorpe. A double live com against those. It's interesting that Bolton are still down here in League 2. I believe they're starting to make themselves, starting to have a push back up into League 1. And I say that, and I take a look at the graph, and that Bolton slide is not looking really good. So maybe we can come away with a solid result versus Bolton. Who knows? But like I said, next time out, Bolton and Scunthorpe in the league. So until that time, I'd like to thank you all very much for watching. If you liked what you saw, go and hit that like button. Lets me know that you're still interested in the series. And of course, subscribe if you are new. Any comments, suggestions, questions, anything else at all, please leave in the comment box below. But as always, this is Gendo, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, and peace out.